I'm trying to honk at you. It wouldn't work.
It has to be running.
To honk?
Yes.
Well, that's a pain in the butt. Ivan, I've got a project for you.
I'm Ivan.
I'm Nick.
And this is DIY Detail. We have quite the project here. From the owner of this car, well actually, her father, he told us that this vehicle has not been washed in well over a year.
This is a college kid's BMW. Now, a college kid having a BMW, it's a good life, probably.
Right, yeah.
No, the reality is there's water spots. There's a lot to deal with, but we can make this grayish color pop like a black BMW should.
Exactly. First deal, iron remover on the wheels. Now normally we do the all clean first, but we know it really needs a lot of iron remover. So we're gonna get the iron remover started before we spray the all clean on.
We're gonna show you what this looks like as the iron remover breaks down the brake dust, the embedded contaminants. What else is on the ground that kicks up on the wheels?
You name it, it's there.
It's there.
From there, we have all clean, diluted 15:1. Now normally we would just do the wheels, maybe the front end, but this vehicle, it's getting the whole vehicle with all clean.
You're all cleaning top to bottom?
Pre-foam on the pre-foam because it's nasty. It's been there over a year. I'm not putting a thick layer on, it's just to help it break down that heavy accumulation of road grime.
I don't think I've ever seen you apply iron remover first, Ivan.
No, but this one calls for a different technique.
You're meeting the moment.
Something like that.
We have the chemicals that you need, folks, to meet the moment. And this is a demo of that. I noticed that you're avoiding the windows. Why are you doing that?
This is caustic, and a caustic on the window is just not necessarily a great idea. And it's not necessary. It's a waste of product putting this on the windows.
Even when you're out of direct sunlight, especially in direct sunlight, I would really encourage you, foam, all clean, it's fine, but no need to foam the windows.
Now speaking of foam, there's a foam cannon on the floor, and I believe there's a pressure washer hose close to it. You know what that means?
I know exactly what that means. Now the wheels are browning, Ivan.
Yeah.
They're nasty. We're gonna show you what we like to call the two foam method. So not the two bucket method, but the two foam method, where we'll foam, we'll rinse, then we'll foam again before we contact wash, and that's just with Incredible Suds. So he's already foamed all clean. So I guess this could be the foam method.
Right.
Need to turn this on.
Pressure washer often works better when it's on.
There she is.
Now over the last few days, we've had Tahoes, we have had Escalades, we've had Rams in here. It's nice to have a small vehicle.
I was noticing that as I could actually see the roof, and
we won't need a ladder on this one.
That's nice.
So, the foam is on, it's dwelling. Nick, I'll let you do the honor with the wheels.
I was gonna rinse off, I forgot about the wheels. Sometimes that's wishful thinking, huh?
It is.
All right.
On another video, we actually did the wheels on the other side, so.
You don't have to do barrels if it's just your own car and you don't care. But detailing, by and large, includes doing the barrels.
I could use a stiffer brush on the side walls of the tires, but I found that it really doesn't make that much of a difference.
I grab the green brush for tires nowadays too.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm hitting the rims, I'm hitting the tires. It's cleaning pretty well. You've got the chemicals working for you. You had the agitation with the green bristle brush.
Yeah.
Like I said, you could talk about the theories of it all, but if it works, it works.
It definitely does work. And it reduces a step in the process. The front end of the vehicle, we pre-sprayed. We pre-sprayed again with the soap, but It had a lot of accumulated insects on this, so I'm gonna take our wheel and body brush and just lather it up one more time and agitating those bug guts off of here. Then after that, we'll be ready to rinse it off. And while I'm doing the front surfaces, let me get this mirror face. Because let's just say, the bugs have accumulated over time. Now in this decidedly uncared for exterior, it's actually amazing that there's a bit of water beading on this thing.
I noticed that, Ivan. While you were doing that, what I like to do after Incredible Suds, we do 1 ounce and 32 ounces of water in your foam cannon. We just had a little bit left. So instead of adding more soap and trying to get all fancy with it or cute, I just literally filled the rest up with water from the sink.
Yeah.
And so we're using the same soap we had before. So if this isn't as sudsy, as lathery, thick as you're used to, and it's gonna be pretty good still, don't worry about it.
Right.
Because this next step is just to give us a little more emulsification, a little bit of lubrication. We just want a safe cushion for our contact wash. Because anytime you touch a wash mitt on the surface of your paint, you're introducing scratch risk. So the reason we're doing all these steps is to mitigate against any possible scratch risk when we touch the paint. So not the thickest of foam, but again, we warned you.
You know, and speaking of thick foam, people like to see thick foam in the wash bucket. So in our wash bucket, 4 gallons of water, 1 ounce of Incredible Suds, and a bit of foam. And yes, we don't have a separate rinse bucket. There's no need. We've taken all the grit off of this paint to begin with the pre-foaming, and now we're simply removing traffic film.
If people want to use 10 towels in their bucket, they don't want to use a rinse bucket, but they're still going to use a separate towel every time they go to a new panel, they can do whatever they want. Have fun with it. But I haven't used a rinse bucket since 2018.
Yeah.
And I have not been scratching cars up. So it's, you know, at some micro level, even the safest wash method is doing something to paint. I can promise you that. It's just the physics of it. But for all intents and purposes, we're not scratching paint, guys.
No.
A polisher hits the paint, something's happening, right? At some micro level, it's getting scratched. Like, everything has a risk to it, but trust us. We know what's going on, we know what people see, what's visible to the eye, and this is an 100% safe method to wash your car.
Right.
Otherwise, we wouldn't do it in a video. But tell us how you like to wash your cars at home. How many buckets, what wash method, rinseless foam cannon. Let us know. So Ivan, I literally just did half. I went top to bottom in half.
Yep.
So just so you know where I've been. But Ivan's got the eagle eye, the hawk eye, so he actually sees where it's been washed.
Well, you can actually see in the foam as well. So.
It's common sense, but it's also like not so common sometimes, you know?
So the whole back end is done, this whole side is done, the roof is done.
So we just washed the vehicle. I happened to start foaming before I had a chance to even talk about what the next step is. You don't have to do this method.
No.
But this is to precursor our decontamination step.
Right, so we've washed the vehicle, we have all that road grime and everything off. We need to decontaminate. We have a little bit of that suds left. We might as well use it up, provide additional lubrication on the paint, and have fun while we're doing it. Off you go. We have 2 clay towels. We have 2 bottles of iron remover. That can only mean one thing.
It's time for decon.
Oh yeah, and it needs it.
Yeah, you can certainly feel it. 1 spray on the towel, a couple sprays on the paint, 2 sprays on the towel, 2 sprays on the paint. Ivan, you can mix and match. What's your preferred method?
1 and 1.
1 and 1.
And where you spray on the paint is where you deposit the towel. So you have to think of this one of 2 ways. You're using the iron remover as lubrication for the towel, or you're using the towel to distribute the iron remover.
It's a good mental picture. And you're gonna get lubrication from the incredible suds, which is awesome as well.
Exactly. You know, we didn't know what to expect underneath all that dirt. And upon initial looking at it, it's probably not that bad. We'll see when we rinse it and dry it. Yes, there's a bit of contamination on the surface, but honestly, I'm surprised at how little there is. So maybe it's a good thing not to wash your car. I don't know. Probably not. I'm not going to venture into that one. Maintain your vehicle, it's worth it.
I'm just gonna be silent and let Ivan dig his own hole here.
Yeah.
Don't wash your car. This is Ivan from DIY Detail.
Yeah, no, definitely wash your car. But we have an interesting case that we have a vehicle that is certified unwashed for at least a year, and honestly, it's not that contaminated.
Is it possible that it has been washed in a year and that was a little bit of an exaggeration?
No, that wasn't an exaggeration.
But do you think Dad was exaggerating about his daughter? Like, oh, she hasn't washed it in a year. That's like, you know, the detail client who says they have a really messy car and they always have the nicest cars. It could be Dad is a meticulous car washer and thinks his daughter isn't that, but in fact does a pretty dang good job. Who knows?
No, trust me, it hadn't been washed in a year. She admitted it, he admitted it.
Okay. Well, you never know. It's, cars can tell stories of their own, you know?
Oh, exactly.
There's words, there's stories, there's promises, but the paint speaks to us sometimes, Ivan, and obviously this isn't that bad.
Okay, so these lowers behind the fender, there's a little more contamination here.
Don't forget to decontaminate your windows.
Yep. So the whole front end is done, Nick.
Cool. Yeah, if you decontaminate your windows, it's gonna make your towels last longer too, because they won't get caught on all the little contaminants on glass. You end up thinking, why is my towel linting? Well, it's because it's gone over the glass where all that crud was digging into it and damaging the fibers. Ivan, you've talked about that before.
Yeah, exactly. So basically what happens is your towel is actually being shredded by the contamination on your window. So very quick decontamination.
Yeah, it's going way faster than I thought.
We've done mechanical and chemical decontamination. Back door still left to do.
Yeah. I don't know if we mentioned it, but when we use our decontamination towel, no pressure.
Yeah.
Just no pressure. Let all the chemicals, let all of the little pores on this towel do the work for you. You will be shaving things off a few extra passes than you would maybe with an aggressive clay bar.
Right.
But you're not gonna have to polish after if you don't want to. So you could use this towel on a maintenance wash. No big deal. You have a ceramic coated car, you want to decontaminate it every couple of months.
Yep.
Light, no pressure, iron remover and incredible suds as your bed of lubrication, and you're not gonna mar up the paint.
Exactly, because this is not a clay towel. It's a synthetic decontamination towel. Big difference.
So when you're done with your iron remover and you don't want bad things to happen, you do this. Take out your sprayer, spray everything back into the bottle, and that clears up the trigger, right, Ivan?
Yep, and then lock off the nozzle. That way you have no evaporation.
And you can do that with all your products, by the way, not just iron remover.
Next, we need to dry the vehicle. We're not using a drying aid. Why?
Because we're about to polish.
Exactly. We've removed the contamination from the vehicle. It's still not looking black.
There's some water beading on this paint that has been restored from our decontamination, and I'm just wondering, did she get the car wash protection or something? Like, there's something on here that something has happened to this paint. It hasn't been 100% neglected. I just don't quite know what it is, Ivan.
No idea, but we're about to polish it off, whatever it is.
What's our goal with this next polishing step?
I'm gonna give her back some shine, some gloss, make her proud of her vehicle. That way, if she's proud of it, she might take care of it.
We hope so.
I'm sure every time her father sees the car looking bad, it's gonna make her watch this video, so. because they're definitely a family of clean cars. But unfortunately, this is not one of them.
Oh boy. Up close, this hood is hammered.
Oh yes. Nick, we have a gloss meter now.
Those are fancy.
They're fancy, but just for fun.
Yeah.
And measuring this paint, I've got a gloss of 88.3.
Sounds decent.
No, it's not good at all. So we can bring this up well into the 90s. We're going for the maximum effect that we can in the least amount of time.
So we're not gonna do a two-step, we're not gonna compound with the wool pad and then finish with the red rotary finishing pad. No,
Right.
The jeweling pad is for another day. This yellow pad is the best of both worlds. It gives us a bit of cut with a really nice glossy finish, one pad, and the gold standard polish.
Right, so we're going with a 21mm machine for the maximum cut, but a foam pad that finishes well.
I bet could this use about 8 more paint correction steps, possibly?
There might not be any paint left if we do that.
Exactly. Possibly, comma, but.
Yeah, and
This is a great compromise of time, energy, steps, and results.
right. Plus, the car is shiny, it's glossy. It's what most people want to look at, so.
They want shiny paint, right?
Yeah,
Holy cow, it looks good.
and the scratches, unless you're right up on them, you don't see them anymore.
Especially when it gets dirty. Which you won't get as dirty. It'll clean easier with the ceramic gloss, I can tell you that much.
Right.
People love ceramic gloss. It adds a pop.
Yeah, definitely.
For a spray product, it's pretty rare to get that. At the level that it gives it, at the durability that it gives it. And this is just one of those where I need you to stop talking. You need to start using it, and you'll understand. And you'll be like, okay, Nick wasn't just blowing smoke.
Right.
This is a legit product. People love it for a reason.
And let's bring the gloss meter back out, see what we end up with. 92.5, there we go. 92.6. Nick, with the gloss meter, we have 92.6.
That's a big bump.
That's a big bump.
I've never
Yeah.
used one of these before, so I don't know
Right.
how many degrees is a big deal, but it looks a lot better. And the gloss meter agrees.
Yeah, exactly. So we've increased the gloss significantly.
And again, this being DIY detail, this yellow waffle, this gold standard polish, this method that we teach with the perforated synthetic decontamination towel, all of this is so doable. Like, I promise you, it is very, very easy to do. There are levels to this detailing game, but at this first very achievable level, you can get phenomenal results that a professional would absolutely charge for. And that feels like a superpower when you kind of crack that code. We've got an amazing way to make this vehicle pop, and that is called tire dressing. In fact, we call it tire lotion. We have a black and white bristled brush here, available on DIYdetail.com, and we just put a few sprays of the tire lotion on the brush, and then we just brush it in, trying to create that nice even line right along this edge. And it's like having a nice pair of shoes. It just completes the outfit, right, Ivan?
Exactly. They almost make a bad car look good.
They can certainly make a bad car look good, and they can make a good car absolutely pop. I think it's the best bang for buck in terms of time and product that you can do to improve the appearance of your vehicle. So even if you were to just clean the wheels and dress the tires and have a dirty paint, that would be probably the fastest way to make the car pop, right?
Exactly.
We're not teaching them that way, but it's sort of a backwards way of thinking about it.
We brought life back to this paint, Is it perfect? No. Is it glossy? Definitely. Does it look good? Yes, it looks great.
It looks amazing. Like, are you talking 10 feet away on a sunny day? This thing's gonna pop.
Exactly.
Pop. Woo!
And if you like things that pop, take a look up here.